Good morning dear students. Hope you all are enjoying good health. Today in this video we will discuss the remaining chapters of our syllabus. So let's start with the chapter number 8, that is currencies of countries. The first question is here, what is currency mean? Currency is a system of money which is generally used in a particular country. Like the currency of India is rupee. Same way here are the name of countries are given and in this side their currency, name of their currencies. We have to match the currency with their country. So let us start. So currency of Bangladesh is taka. Currency of China is yuan, renminbi. Currency of Japan is yen. Currency of Israel is shekel. Currency of Turkey is lira. Currency of United States is US dollar. Currency of Maldives is rupiah. So currency of France is euro. Currency of South Africa is rand. Currency of Brazil is real. Currency of Canada is Canadian dollar. Currency of England is pound sterling. Currency of Switzerland is franc. Currency of Philippines is peso and currency of Norway is krone. So with this we have completed this chapter. Here one more question is, the currency of India is rupee. Its symbol is this and it was designed by Uday Kumar. So the question will come, the currency of India is dash. Your answer will be rupee and the symbol of rupee is this and the symbol of rupee is designed by the Uday Kumar. With this we have completed our chapter number 8. So let us move towards the next chapter. So here is the chapter number 9 and the name of the chapter is Famous Trains of the World. In this chapter we will read about the famous train which are found in all across the world. So let us start with the introduction. Trains are considered the backbone of the economy of a country. Economy means you can say wealth of a country. They play a vital role for carrying people and goods. Here are the pictures of some world famous trains. It means trains are the backbone of wealth of a country because they play an important role in carrying people and goods. Goods means things, to carry it from one place to another. So here in this chapter the pictures of some famous trains are given. We have to identify that trains and write down their names in the given space. So let us start with the first one. It stands for the Grande Vitesse or high speed train. It is an electric train system. It connects Paris with all the major cities in France and with some of the neighboring countries. The specialty of this train is it is a high speed train which run on an electricity. Which run on electricity and it connects Paris with all other major cities of France and also with neighboring countries. The name of the train is the French TGV. Second is, it is the one of the world's most luxurious train. Luxurious means you can say the train which have all the facilities. It has been operating between Cape Town and Pretoria, South Africa since 1939. So this train have all the facilities and it run between Cape Town and Pretoria since from 1939. The name of the train is the Blue Train. The next is, the train is also known as bullet train. It is a high-speed passenger rail network in Japan. It started in 1964. The train runs at speed of over 160.9 km per hour. Means this train is also known as a bullet train. Why it is called bullet train? Because it has a high speed. And it is a passenger train which carries passenger from one place to another, and this train run in the Japan. And this train started in the year of 1964 and this train can run with the speed of 160 km, near about 161 km per hour. The name of the train is the Shinkansen train. The fourth one is, this is a high-speed railway service connecting London, Paris and Brussels through the Channel Tunnel. It can reach a speed of 300 km/h. Okay, again this train is a high-speed train which connect London, Paris and Brussels. You all know Brussels is the capital of Belgium. Okay, and it can reach a speed of 300 km/h. It means this train can travel 300 kilometers in an hour. So the name of the train is the Eurostar. It was the first European train which went across Europe, running from Paris to Bulgaria, even going to Istanbul. It was known for its 5-course French meal and high-profile passengers who include diplomats and royalty. It means it was the first European train which ran in the Europe, and this train went across Europe, running from Paris to Bulgaria. Okay, and this train is well known for its 5-course French meal. Okay, and the passenger of this train are high profile passengers like diplomats and royalty. Diplomat means the officer which represent a country in foreign country. Okay, the name of the train is the Orient Express. The sixth one is the rail. This railway covers the world's longest route, making 91 stops over the course of days. It crosses 8 time zones, 87 towns and cities, and 16 major rivers, including the Volga and Obi, the Yenisei and Amur. Okay, and this train covers the world's longest distance. Okay, in which he have making 91 stops, and it covers the 81 towns and cities, and it also covers 16 major rivers. The name of the train is the Trans-Siberian Railway. So with this we have completed the chapter number 9. So let us move towards the next chapter. The next chapter is chapter number 10, and the name of the chapter is well-known environmentalist. Before discussing this, we have to first know about what is the meaning of environment. Okay, I think you all know the meaning of environment. Environment is the surroundings in which we live. Okay, environment include all the things, plants, animals and other things which are surrounding us. That is called the environment. So what does environmentalist means? Environmentalist is a person who is concerned about protecting the environment. It means the person who works for protection of environment. So firstly, let us discuss about these persons. Famous Indian environmentalist who led the Chipko movement to save trees. Chipko movement, as its name suggests, in this movement person just curl around the trees, okay, to save it from cutting. The name of this person is Sundarlal Bahuguna. The second one is, he started Chipko movement in the Uttarakhand against deforestation. Deforestation means act of cutting down trees. Again, this person again started the Chipko movement in Uttarakhand. The name of this person is Chandi Prasad Bhatt. The third one is, a well-known environmentalist wrote a book on global warming, former vice president of United States. Okay, this person wrote a book, and the name of the book is Global Warming. Global warming means constant increase in the temperature of Earth due to the pollution, and he is also a former president of United States, US. The name of the person is A.L. Gore. The fourth personality is founder that less use of pesticides and synthetic fertilizer causes less contamination of soil, got Right Livelihood Award. Okay, she suggests that if we use less pesticide and fertilizers in our farms, in our fields, so this will help us to reduce or help us to cause less contamination of soil, and she got the Right Livelihood Award. The name of this personality is Vandana Shiva. The fifth one is an active member of Lal Biradri working for protection of water resources. This person is a member of a organization which work for the protection of water resources. The name of the person is Rajinder Singh. Okay, this 34 years old Swami sacrificed his life to save Ganga. So this Swami sacrifice means give his life to save Ganga river. The name of this personality is Swami Nigmanand. Next is fought in Supreme Court against factory damaging Taj Mahal. This person fought a case again in Supreme Court against the factories whose pollution damaged the Taj Mahal. The name of this person is MC Mehta. The next one is known for her role in Narmada Bachao Andolan. She is also a well-known personality and she is known for his Andolan for Narmada Bachao Andolan. The name of this personality is Medha Patekar. So here is one more thing is human activities have a negative effect on the environment. So why these environmentalists are worried about our environment? Because all the human activities have some negative effect on environment which are polluting our environment. So we have to put efforts to keep our surroundings neat and clean. So can you name these environmentalists who have taken steps to save the environment? Okay, in this chapter we have read about the environmentalists who are working to save the environment. Okay, with this we have completed the chapter number 10. So the next chapter is chapter number 11 and the name of the chapter is Forest, Our Green Treasure. Treasure means you can say wealth, precious or valuable thing. So what is forest? First question is here. A large land areas covered with thick plants or trees is known as a forest. It means a large land which all have trees is known as or is called forest. Different kinds of forest are found on the earth. So the forests are classified mostly on the basis of their location and climate where they grow. So forests are further of different kinds and their kinds are depend upon their location and the climate conditions. So let us start with the first one. A mix of deciduous and coniferous evergreen trees found in North America, Northeastern Asia and Western and Eastern Europe. The broad leafy hardwood trees shed leaves annually. There are well-defined seasons with distinct winter and sufficient rainfall. Okay, it means here are different kinds of trees are found. One is deciduous, second one is coniferous evergreen tree. Deciduous trees are those which shed their leaves altogether and coniferous are those trees which have cone-shaped seeds. Okay, evergreen means which remain evergreen throughout the year. So the broad leafy hardwood trees means which have broad leaves and they give us seeds and they give us fruit, seeds and nuts. So the weather of these types of forests, there are well defined seasons with distinct winter and sufficient rainfall. The name of the forest is temperate forest. The second one is these are also known as cloud forest because they receive most of their precipitation from the lowlands. Some of the woodlands and grasslands are found in high elevation tropical, subtropical and temperate zones. Trees are mainly conifers. Okay, so these are also known as a cloud forest because they receive heavy rainfall. Okay, here are some woodlands, grasslands are also found. Okay, but the mostly trees are of conifer type. The name of the forest is montane forest. The third one is year-round high temperature and abundant rainfall make them a dense, lush forest found near the equator. They are vital storehouses of biodiversity on the planet. They are facing severe threat due to excessive deforestation. It means in this forest the temperature is very high and they receive heavy rainfall. Because of that, these forests are very dense. Okay, these forests are near the equator. It means you have to see, now the earth is round in shape, and the line which divides the center into two equal parts, this line is called the equator. So these forests are found near this region, near the equator. So they are vital storehouse for biodiversity. Biodiversity means all the wildlife, all the animals, all the plants which exist on our planet Earth. They are facing severe threat due to the excessive forest, but they are under the threat because there are excessive deforestation is done. Deforestation means act of cutting down trees. The name of this type of forest is tropical rain forest. Fourth one is there are around 140 million hectares of these forests in the world, accounting for around 7% of the global forest cover. Their productivity in terms of supplying a sustainable volume of timber and fiber is usually greater than all other forests. These forests produce around 40% of industrial wood. Okay. So these forests covered around 140 million hectare across the world, which count the 7% of global forest cover. Okay, so these forests produce a timber and fiber which we use. Okay, and these forests produce around 40% of industrial wood which we use in our industries. The name of these forests are plantation forest. The fifth one is these forests are found to the south of the temperate region around the coast of Mediterranean, California, Chile and Western Australia. The growing season is short and almost all trees are evergreen but mixed hardwood and softwood. So these forests are found to the south of temperate region of the Mediterranean and California, Western Australia. So the growing season here is very short and trees are evergreen which remain green throughout the year. But here both types of wood are found. One is hardwood and second one is softwood. The name of these kind of forest is Mediterranean forest. Sixth one is these forests inhabit the cold windy region around the poles. These type of forests are situated around the poles. Means here these regions are called poles of earth, and here temperature is very low. That's why here is called cold windy region. Both hardwoods and conifers are found in this region. The conifers are evergreen and structurally adapted to withstand the long drought like conditions of long winters, whereas the hardwoods are deciduous. It means these forests are located in the cold windy regions of poles, and here hardwoods and conifers trees are found. So conifers are evergreen which remain green throughout the years and adapted itself to withstand with the long drought. Long drought means water starving condition, the condition where water amount is very less, like conditions or long winter. So here winters are very long and temperature is very low, whereas the hardwoods are deciduous. Deciduous means the plants which lose their leaves at once. The name of these kind of forest is coniferous forest. With this we have completed our chapter number 11. So next chapter is chapter number 12, and the name of the chapter is National Parks and Sanctuary. So first of all we have to know about what is the meaning of National Parks and Sanctuary. So under the Wildlife Protection Act means wildlife include the plants and animals which live in our environment. To save those, the Wildlife Protection Act is passed in the year of 1972 by the Government of India, has set up many national parks and wildlife sanctuaries to protect wild animals. So in the year of 1972, the Government of India passed an act which is known as Wildlife Protection Act. Under this act, many national parks and wildlife sanctuaries are made to save the wild animals. So there are four 490 sanctuaries and 89 national parks in India, and also 14 biosphere reserves are also set up. So here first question is, what is the difference between national parks, sanctuaries and biosphere reserves? So national parks are set up or built by the state government, okay, state government to protect the wildlife. But in national parks, human activities are allowed, where humans can go and can watch the animals. On the other hand, the sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries are made where the animals are kept in their natural habitat, okay, the environment or the habitat in which the animals are living, that is declared as the wildlife sanctuaries. Here the limited activities or humans are allowed. The third one is the biosphere reserve. Biosphere reserves are also made to protect the animals against the threat, but here the region is divided into different, here the biospheres are divided in different regions, out of which up to a certain region or up to a certain level human activities are allowed. So let us start. Some of the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries given below, name out the states where they are located. So here are the different national parks, name of the different national parks are given. We have to find the state in which they are located. The first one is Bandhavgarh National Park. It is located in Madhya Pradesh. Second is Kanha National Park. It is also again located in the Madhya Pradesh. Third one is Ranthambore National Park. It is located in Rajasthan. The fourth one is the Gir National Park, which is located in Gujarat. Fifth one is the Kaziranga National Park, which is located in Assam. It is famous for its tiger. The sixth one is Sriksha National Reserve. Okay, this is located in Rajasthan. Seventh one is the Keolado Ghana Bird Sanctuary. Okay, it is a bird sanctuary where it is set up to save or to protect the birds. It is also again located in the Rajasthan. Eighth one is the Sundarban National Park. It is located in the West Bengal. Okay, West Bengal is famous for the Sundarbans. Here Sundarban type of trees are found. Ninth one is Rajaji National Park. It is located in the Uttarakhand. 10th one is the Sanjay Gandhi National Park. It is located in the Maharashtra. So here at the base of the chapter, one more thing is given: animals and living beings like us, we should not tease them. Okay, you all know animals can feel same way like we feel, so we should not tease them. So the next chapter of our discussion is chapter number 13, and the name of the chapter is River Projects of India. So let us start with the first one. This dam is situated in Karnataka and is a part of Upper Krishna project. So what is dam? Dam is a structure which is built on a river to store water for different purpose, to generate electricity or to use watering to those areas where water scarcity is there. So this dam is situated in Karnataka and it is a part of the Upper Krishna project. The name of the dam is Almaty Dam. The second one is, this multi-purpose river valley project consists of multiple dams across the river Damodar. In this, the dam is built on the river Damodar and it is a multi-purpose river valley project in which multiple dams, not a single dam, multiple dams means number of dams are built. The name of this project is Damodar Valley Project. Third one is situated across the river Satluj. This dam is part of India's biggest multi-purpose project. This dam is situated or located on the river Satluj and this dam is India's biggest multi-purpose project. Okay, the name of the dam is Bhakra Nangal Dam. Fourth one is located on the Beas River. This dam releases water for the famous Rajasthan Canal. This dam is built on the river Beas and this dam releases water to Rajasthan through Rajasthan Canal. The name of this dam is Pong Dam. Fifth one is, this controversial dam is built across the river Narmada to provide water mainly to Gujarat. Controversial means means disputed or causing the public discussion or disagreement. So this is a controversial dam which is built on the river Narmada to provide water supply to Gujarat. The name of this dam is Sardar Sarovar Dam. The sixth one is this dam located on the Mahanadi river in Odisha. Is the longest dam in the world. So this is the longest, lengthwise, longest dam in the world which is located on the Mahanadi river in Odisha. The name of the dam is Hirakund Dam. Seventh one is a controversial rock-filled dam situated in Uttarakhand across the river Bhagirathi. Again, a controversial means disputed rock-filled dam which is located in the Uttarakhand on the river Bhagirathi. The name of the dam is Tehri Dam. Eighth one is this dam is built across the Krishna river at a place about 44 km away from Hyderabad. So this dam is built on the river Krishna and which is placed away 44 km away from Hyderabad. The name of the dam is Nagarjun Sagar Dam. So here one more thing is the biggest dam in the world is built across the river Nile in Egypt. Its name is Aswan Dam. It is the biggest dam in the world, that is Aswan Dam, which is built across the river Nile in Egypt. So the longest dam in the world is Hirakund Dam. Okay, you have to differentiate between biggest dam and the longest dam. So let's move towards the next chapter, that is the chapter number 14, Natural Wonders of the World. So in this chapter we will read about the wonders which are natural, which are created by the nature. So what is introduction given here? There are many such sites on the earth that have been considered for inclusion in the list of 7 wonders of the world. In the previous class you have read about the 7 wonders. So but here again the natural wonders are discussed which should be added or inserted in the list of 7 wonders. Let's know about some of them. Look at the pictures, read the description and name the natural wonders. You can take help from the clue box. Okay, here the pictures are given, we have to see it and also read the description, and we have to identify the name of the natural wonder. Natural wonders means the wonders which are created by the nature. In the previous class you have read the 7 wonders which are created by the man. Okay, here in this chapter we will read the wonders which are created by the nature. So here it is a difference between the 7 wonders and the natural wonder. So let's start with the first one. This is the highest mountain in the world. This highest point is located in the Himalayas at the height of 8,848 meters in the country of Nepal. So this is the highest mountain in the world. So its highest point is at the height of 8,848 meters, which is located in the country Nepal. The name of this mountain is Mount Everest. The second picture is, this is a stone forest, a collection of limestone formation extended over a surface of 500,000 square kilometers. The stone appears in various shapes ranging from pinnacle, column, mushroom, pagoda shape. Some of them are up to 30 meters tall. They are located in Kunming, the capital of Yunnan state of China. So this is a stone forest where the structures made of stone, especially from the limestone. Limestone means it is made up of the calcium carbonate. These structures are located there. The shape of these structures is pinnacle. Pinnacle means like peak, which ended into this like structures, column, mushroom shape, and pagoda. Pagoda shape means the shape which we have seen in Indian temples. Okay, and some of these structures are tall up to 30 meters. These are located in the Kunming, the capital of Yunnan state of China. The name of this wonder is Shilin Stone Forest. The third natural wonder is, this is world's largest coral reef system. It is composed of billions of tiny organisms known as coral polyps. It is located in the Coral Sea of the coast of Queensland, Australia. So again, it is the world's largest coral reef system. So at the base of sea there are different structures are seen, okay, which provide the different color at the base. Here you can see here the structures of different colors: green, light green, sea green, pink. All these structures are seen. These are the tiny organisms which are really small organisms that are known as the coral polyps. This is the largest coral, okay, these organisms form a structure that is called the coral reef. So this is the largest coral reef system which is located in the Coral Sea of coast of Queensland, Australia, and the name of this structure is the Great Barrier Reef. The fourth wonder is, it is a very big valley of the Arizona state of USA. It is more than the 446 km long and 29 km wide. It is formed by the river Colorado that has been eroding it since the last 17 million years. So first of, what does valley mean? Valley is a low land which is situated between two mountains or hills. Valley is a low land which is situated between two mountains or hills, which is often has a river which flow through it, okay. And as you know, this valley, it is more than 446 km long and it is 29 km wide, this side, okay. And this valley is formed by the river Colorado, okay, that has been eroding. Eroding means disintegrating these valley. Disintegrate, you can say destroying something very slowly, okay. This river destroying this by eroding these sites since the last 17 million years. So the name of this valley is the Grand Canyon. Moving towards the fifth wonder, these are the glowing sheets of light in the sky. They are also called as dancing bears or northern lights. So these are the glowing sheets which have different colors, as you can see in the picture. So these are also called the northern lights or dancing bears. These lights make impressive display in the sky. It means these lights look very interesting. These can be seen near magnetic pole, which is near the Arctic island of Canada. Okay, these lights can be seen only near the magnetic pole. Magnetic pole, the region where is magnetic field of Earth is very high, and it is seen near the Arctic island of Canada. The name of this wonder is Aurora Borealis. Moving towards the sixth one. The sixth one is, this is the youngest volcano in Mexico. So this volcano is located in the Mexico, which is youngest volcano. It is started as a fissure in the corn in the 1943. This farmer and his family witnessed the eruption of ash and stones. Frequent eruptions in the first year buried the surrounding villages in lava and ash. It last erupted in the year of 1952. Okay, this is the youngest volcano in the Mexico. Okay, which is started in the field of a farmer family in the year of 1947. Then later on, the eruption of ash and stone completely buried the surrounding villages. Okay, and it is lastly erupted in the year of 1952. The name of this is Paricutin. The next wonder is, it is the second largest city of Brazil. Its harbor surrounded by mountains and other beautiful formations. It is a world famous. It is also called the Guanabara Bay. So it is the second largest city of the Brazil. So harbor means port or bandargah, which is surrounded by the mountains and beautiful formations. It is a world famous, and it is also called the Guanabara Bay. The name of this wonder is Harbor of Rio de Janeiro. Okay, with this we have completed our all chapters which are in our syllabus. So watch this video carefully and again to understand it better. Take care. Thank you.